All right, we're back again. A little bit earlier today, 3:30 Eastern time. Normally we do these at 6:15 Eastern, Monday through Thursday. So we'll get back to that next week. But got some stuff going on later, so we're doing it now. Any requests? Let me know in the chat. I'll get right to some important stuff I think it's worth noting, and then we'll get right to the requests. So if you're new, thumbs up, share if you can. Other than that, let's just get going. Bitcoin 4-hour chart. After our big move up yesterday, a little bit of a retest today. And this is where the bulls had to hold the line. Why? That was our breakout level. Here's our previous swing high. Look where we retested. We just did it. Like this candle. We're still in this candle. 30 minutes to go. A retest of previous resistance flipped to now support. The bulls are here, right? That was the proof, and we got it. At least on this chart. 4-hour chart is now in an uptrend, confirming bullish retest and holding. So we'll see where we end up closing. But higher prices are more likely than lower at this point after retesting these previous range highs. You can see, higher highs, higher lows are now forming for the first time in a while here. And if we put on the Bollinger Bands, we have even more significance happening. Right? We talked about this yesterday in our live stream. A move up and close above the upper Bollinger Band on the daily chart for the first time since March. That's significant. Retest of previous, all this stuff together starts telling a bullish story here. Bollinger Bands starting to diverge from each other as well. At the same time, you're tagging the upper band, right? The odds are higher here. Will altcoins come with it? Maybe not. Why would that be? Bitcoin dominance is now 56% and still rising. Bitcoin dominance is still on a massive move to the upside with no signs of stopping, at least yet, right? There's the weekly snapshot of Bitcoin dominance. So don't think alt season's just right around the corner, although it could be, but we need to see a topping candle in Bitcoin dominance and a reversal. So something like that. A red waterfall out of Bitcoin dominance equals Valhalla for altcoins. We don't have it yet, but one coin is seemingly shrugging that off today. That will be our boy Blue, Mr. Chainlink. Up almost 8% now in a sea of red. Underside retest of the 200. This will be pivotal, right? Where did we reject last time? The 200. Time before that, we only closed one candle. Look where we are again. So if the Chainlink bulls are actually here, it's time to put up or shut up, right? So pivotal moment ahead on this daily close. Close above here and then show some confluence and some follow-up tomorrow. Get us out of here. $15, $16, right? We looked at that range yesterday. That's the big level. Then 17, then 21. That's the kind of the stages for Chainlink. All right. Maybe this hour will work a little better. So if we get more views here, then we'll maybe switch it up a little bit and start to do streams maybe from this time. See what we got. Requests. Let's see what else. Do we have anything yet? Not really. We're just looking at Link, right? Link power move. Let's look at low time frames. I like big moves. All right, look at that. Chainlink up just a little bit. We can skew it and put it on the 1 second chart. That'd be cool. But from way back yesterday, we're up 16%. That's pretty impressive for Link as of late, right? Bollinger Band's looking good. All's looking well on the short time frame. The 4 hours still looking great as well. Look at this. We got 26 minutes. Can we close above the 200 EMA? Looks promising, at least for now. Right, we rejected harsh here. We didn't even get to it back here. So if we do, this will be our first close above the 200 EMA since, you guessed it, March. Another significant kind of warning. At least put the bears on warning, right? Multiple tests of these range lows, right? 3 tests. Is this a triple bottom? Not yet. We kind of need to close above these highs. I would like to see a close above really 16 to kind of confirm that as like a triple test and triple bottom. We'll see if we can get that. That would be great, right? Yup. Link up. Nothing else really up that much. Link's leading. Well, we got Link Ethereum. Look at that. Check out Link ETH. Just putting in jaw dropping. Holy hell. Look at that move on the 4-hour out of Chainlink against ETH. Now testing highs not seen since April. Nice. Nice big move. Look at that bar. Hell yeah. So if we don't get a good question, you want a summer lull? Well, I'm guessing you've been watching some Ben Cowan, right? And he's a smart dude. I think that's probably the likelihood. Maybe we get a relative boring summer, but if we don't, right, and we are getting ready to move up, and you see Bitcoin dominance top, then we are going to have a left translated cycle, and we will likely peak in the next 6 to 8 months. That would be my guess. If we don't get a boring summer. If it's exciting summer, the end is, the bad part of that is the end is relatively nearby. I don't think we would go into, late 2025. We'd be less than a year likely if we start getting a little excited here. But I still think the odds are maybe more of a boring summer and some chop on the macro scale, right? Obviously, this shorter time frame 4-hour chart looks more bullish. The weekly time frame is bullish as well, but we could just be in a long consolidation phase, right? We could just absolutely go back down next week, or we could just kind of chop around here, right? We could, if Bitcoin just wants to do even this, like for the rest of the summer, and Bitcoin dominance remains high, right? Altcoins aren't going anywhere, most of them. But if we are in fact going to new all-time highs in the next handful of weeks or months, and altcoins and Bitcoin dominance tops, altcoins start to go crazy, the end of the cycle is likely within 6 to 8 months, like at the most. That's my opinion on that, but there you go. That's how it always works. Whatever coin you switch out of goes batshit as soon as you hit the sell button. And as soon as you buy, the pump stops. I put in the note to the Bitcoin CEO on that. Get your grandma, get her cat, get all the people in here that we can. Arweave, good request. Get right to it. KuCoin's fine. That. All right, so weekly scale. Do some checks, right? It's already gets a pretty good check mark. It's flirting with range highs above all moving averages. Are we above 2022 highs? Of course, right? There's many coins that aren't, right? This is what we always kind of check on any request. Are you above your bear market summer highs? Check, check, check. Are you above the 21-week EMA? Check. Are you above all moving averages? That's the kind of the final ultra bull check, and yes. Right, so by definition, this is a good one, good chart at least, right? You want to be in the strong charts, right? Like we always look at, where you don't want to be on a chart that's looking like this for the past several months, and some do. Strong trend, right? Nice strong trend since October. Right, looks great, up 1,000%. Excellent. There's not much bad to say here. What's our target? Well, let's look at fib. I don't really like going on entry level high wicks, but is that possible? Can we hit that? Well, let's see. $1,000. That's another 2,200% from here. We're looking at roughly 25,000% overall. It's not out of the world, but I would prefer to use closings on like newer spots like this. So closings, right? We get a closing low, closing high. So this is a little bit more conservative, right? 480, right? That's like half, right? A little bit better. You're still getting another 10, 11x out of here. So that's more conservative. Now maybe when you get up here, maybe you just like do yourself a favor and start paying yourself and taking profits. A lot of people like want the profits and don't take it when they're up there. Right? You got to take profits along the way, a good place to start, right? Depending on when you got in this, right? You're still another 10x away from here. You're up 10x, you'll start taking something off the top, right? No matter how insane it seems. 10%, always pay yourself. This looks like a good setup. Could have just ended at that. Good setup. Yep, we can do it. All right, week-long chart. 2022 highs. We're right at it. We tried it. Now we're back below. Like a lot of coins are kind of trapped under all these moving averages right now. So this is one that has the potential to be more slow moving when Bitcoin dominance tops and a real alt season hits because of where it's at. It has the chance to save itself, but many coins are like this, so don't feel bad yet. Right? They made this like higher high and then came back down and got kind of stuck under here in this all these nets, right? All these moving averages kind of hold you down a little bit. So a little bit weaker at the moment, but until we get above 15, I would put it in the cooling kind of section, right? You could put hot tokens like Pepe, Near is up there, Render is up there, right? Those are like the hotter charts. Those look great. This is on more of the conservative approach, if you will, for now. So based on this weekly chart, do I think there's going to be an epic move? Well, no. You got to get above all your moving averages before you have the super moves. I mean, we're still like 20% away from even approaching a potential bigger move, and you could just move sideways for weeks here while Bitcoin dominance is high. And that's the odds. While Bitcoin dominance is high, coins that are a little bit more weak, like this, under most moving averages, will likely move sideways. The moving averages are sideways. That tells you where your odds are. If they're trending up, guess where your trend is, right? You don't have to overcomplicate this. Trends down, moving averages down, right? Sideways moving averages likely mean sideways price action. Chop. I mean, look at the last 4 weeks. Chop, up, down, up, right? So even if we go up to like 15, the very next week, we could come back down to 12. And that's just your odds based on this chart on the macro scale, right? You don't have to overcomplicate things, right? You don't have 78 things happening here. We're not looking at all the indicators. You don't need to, right? Just look at the chart and tell instantly if it's a super strong chart or maybe just in the cooling phase, just chill phase, right? If you want to know, if you're like want an example, right? Just go look at Pepe, right? Non-cooling phase. Near was in the other one, right? Great chart. Little smiley face. Inverse head and shoulders on the daily. What's the other good one? Right, Render. Right, you're catching the drift here. You got to get off. Render's been so batshit crazy. It's like the Bollinger Bands. Just skew all that, but I mean, still look above all moving averages, right? I mean, this looks stellar. These are strong charts. This is what you want to look at on the weekly chart snapshot. I mean, you could tell in 1 second what's a strong chart and what's maybe not so strong as of right now. Next request. Not a whole lot of history here. Down under the EMA 8 on the weekly. Let's drop down to like maybe a 3-day. We're under the 21 as well. We've broken, previous range lows. So this is another cooling phase, right? We can go like A, B, C, right? A would be strong chart, Render, Pepe, Near, right? B would be like the majority of coins. Maybe not so strong yet, but has the potential, right? This is what I'm talking about. Potential does go well, but as of right now, it's kind of in the boring phase. So that'd be B. And then C would be just charitable chart. Like, what the hell would that be? I'm glad you asked. Let's go look at our favorite, Matic. Matic would be a C chart, right? You don't want to be in Matic, right? It's down since the start of the bull run. Here's the start of the bull run. You are now losing money if you just held this. You're down 8% since the start of the bull run, when coins are literally up 1,000%. C chart. Actually, D. Let's go D and F. You failed. Right? Great Matic. did one of the best performers last cycle. One of the worst performers this cycle. That's just how it works. I don't make the rules. I just enforce them. All right. What else we got? Solana. I like it. Look at Solana Bitcoin. So, I mean, you want your coins strong against Bitcoin. Holy hell. Like, Solana's there. Solana's one of the top 4 that I've found. Besides the memes. Memes are all pretty good against Bitcoin. As far as high market cap coins, top 50, like Solana's up there. Like top 5. Solana against Bitcoin is money. Literally. Render is up there. Fetch is up there. And Injective, believe it or not, is up there against Bitcoin. Top 5, like, period. Let's see what else. Solana Tether, right? Get to this. Solana's moving pretty close in sync with Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin's going to go up, I think Solana's will as well. And, Bitcoin's looking great. Solana above all moving averages. Strong as hell uptrend. Just on, great looking chart. Low to high, over 1,000% again. You're still up, over 9x from the lows. You would have bought under $20, which everyone hated Solana. Most people down in this area, but that's when you got to buy. When the most negative news is out, and it's like, I wouldn't touch that with the 10-foot pole. No, you should be, going all in with everything you can find. As long as the project's great and it's not a Karen coin or something like that, right? What that means, but you get it. So Solana on the 3-day looks stellar. The weekly looks great as well, right? Looks almost the same as the 3-day. Swing, and also you want to be noting your strength by where did the fall downs go? Did they go to previous range highs or did they collapse below them? Many coins did, right? Many coins are still down in this area. Solana's not there, right? Holding the line. That's the bulls are here, right? Any kind of dip is bought very quickly. That's a good sign. Solana volume, really high. Like top 10 market caps, top 5 market caps, and the volume is epically high. That's a great sign. So great chart, great everything. I think it's going to do well. I think, what about tops? Where we could draw the top here? I think I would be shocked if we don't hit 500 to 600. I don't know if that makes you happy or sad, but anything much above that, I would be hard pressed to really believe, just based on the market cap. This 2,000 is seemingly out of batshit crazy Batman. Another 26,000%. Could it do that? Maybe, but it was around last cycle too. Let's see what it did last cycle. So it's 25,000%, right? We talked about this on last night's live stream. Like, you're not likely to repeat what you did in the first cycle. I mean, look at Matic. We're up now at the highs, 2,500%. So what if we did like half of last cycle? What if we did like 12,000%? That gets us to 1,000. Tell me $1,000 Solana wouldn't tickle your fancy? Anything above 1,000, like I would be really skeptical of. I think $500 to $600. I could count on that, right? That's a 6,000% move. Hopefully that helps you. Yeah, Link's trying to upgrade its cars real quick. It's cool it off a little bit, of course, now that we've talked about it, but let's put Link back on. His 4-hour candles still trying to close. We have 11 minutes to close above this 200 EMA for the first time in a while. But yeah, Link's definitely trading up here. We'll see how many cars Link wants to move up here. Get a nice bonus. What's up, everyone? Nate, what's up? SYN, we can do that. I got it right here. It's on my list of good coins, even though on the 4 hours not looking great. Let's go over to the weekly. This is another coin that I think will do well, but it's showing signs of, the B group. ABC, right? A is strong charts. B is cooling charts. Once strong, maybe would come around again. And C is like bad chart. Don't be in it. If you are in it, get out of it, right? And there's a handful of those, but most of them are B charts right now. Synapse is like that. What we're cautious of is, the potential double top here. We don't. It's not a double top yet until we take this low out. So I don't think that's going to happen. This is more just a retest of range highs, right? So not a double top. But we are under all moving averages. I mean, we've been moving down for the past 6 weeks now after our kind of high of, flirting with $2. So once we get above 2, I think we can make a more sustainable run. But being below all moving averages is certainly more stuck in the mud and in the B category, which I would say like 90% of alts are kind of in the B category. You have 10% in the A category, and then, well, that math doesn't math, does it? Let's go 80 in the B category, 10 in the C category, and 10 in the A category. The majority of coins, math isn't mathing. Majority of coins are in the B group, where they're just kind of stable, little stuck, not likely to take off in the blink of an eye. And some coins are in the A group, 10%. Roughly, and I think those could take off any given moment. They've been doing well. What are those coins? It's Fetch, Render, Near. I mean, GFI even looks good. We looked at GFI in our Telegram group today. So, I mean, look at GFI. Goldfinch, strong chart, right? These are the kind of coins that you'd want to be holding majority of. Strongest charts, Render. Are you seeing a difference here? Right? Above all moving averages, uptrend only since the start of the bull run. I mean, think of this. If you just held, if you're all in Matic or all in Render, the difference, Matic is down 8% since this same point, right? So this would be like Render being at 38 cents here. Think of that. Matic is like Render being at 38 cents, but instead, Render even being down this week is up, 2,400% since the start of the bull run. What? Think of that. Just put Render and Matic in comparative analysis, and damn, that's like the top versus the bottom. As far as gains this cycle, Matic is down since the start of the bull run. It's hard to believe. So strong charts, Render. Even though it's down right now, might be a decent time to swap into that. Okay, so good question. Is the cooling phase better for accumulation? Potentially. Only potentially. If you have high beliefs in that coin that's going to go, like Synapse, potentially. It's just potential, though, right? The better odds would be just play the strongest charts. Right? All the fundamentals, you could take that with a grain of salt, right? How far has fundamentals got you in Matic this cycle, right? Great. Synapse has done well, right? I mean, let's look at the bottom to top swing highs. I mean, it's still up 640%, and we're still, as of even with the drop down, we're still up 200%, still up 3x, even if from the bottoms, right? And that's just October, right? If we go back a little bit longer, right, we're still trying to gain our traction here. We don't have years of history, but these are all potentials. So is it a great time to accumulate down here? Yes and no, right? You're potentially in your Ferrari, but you have coins that are already the Ferrari. So I ask, is it worth that gamble? Yeah, you're like, well, this one's already put in the gains. Well, you could have said that back here, right? You're like, oh, I'll flip all my Render to Matic now. Now that Render's up to $1, I made a 5x out of Render. I'm going to throw into Matic. You don't want to do that, right? Never trade from a strong chart to a weaker chart, but from a weak chart to a stronger chart, potentially. So if you have cash sideline, maybe you're all in stables, okay? That's a different play, maybe, potentially. Then I could see putting a little bit more in here. But you never want to take from a strong chart and put it into a weaker chart. Ever, ever, ever. That's the number one rule. Don't forget. If it's the weaker chart, right, if you're all in Matic and you want to go to, gamble some more and put it into Synapse or Injective or Render or any of these coins that have been doing strong, that's always like a general pretty good idea. Hopefully that helps. But, accumulating in these cooling phases can be dangerous because they could just stay cool, right? You don't have to necessarily heat back up or heat up at all if you're Matic. Juice, welcome in. Long time no see. I think I caught you on one live stream. welcome back. Jasmine is down here somewhere. There it is. Should have just typed it in. All right, another good one. Good looking chart. Right, high and tight. Consolidation. That's what you'd want to see. Nice move. Bigger consolidation, but look where it held. The 21 week. If you're holding the 21 week consistently, you can make these bigger moves. And that's pretty great. So consolidation, not giving back. Why'd I put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable? Consolidation. We wouldn't want to go back below the 382 here. So what? 13 there? The 382. Let's go with that. A penny. I could say a penny and a third. Holding the EMA 14, right? This is better than most. I put this like a B plus for now, maybe an A minus for the groupings. I feel like I should patent those groupings. Pretty good. We'll go A minus here. We're above all moving averages as of right now. We're hanging high. We haven't give back any of our gains really. Our next target, right? I say if we close back above the 0.5 here at 2 cents, then our next target is the 618 for these range highs. That'll definitely be probably another breath. Take a breath there. So where are we at here? We're like near 80%. Right? We still got to do a 2x to kind of get to these previous range highs. After that, then all bets would be off there. There's no hesitation between that. You got the 786 there a little bit. You can see that. I wouldn't put too much in that. So we're at 80%, 75% to 618. All we really have to do, I think, is close above the 5. Right? Usually, if you close above the 5, you can proceed. Right? There's not too many stoplights between 0.5 and 68, 786, all that good stuff. So then we have a subtle 8x to all-time high closes. 1618 is way up at $2. We can potentially do that. Another 11,000%. On the bottom, we're at probably not. I wouldn't get your hopes up too high for that. 78,000% from the lows. Depending on market cap, maybe because we didn't do a full cycle last time. But I wouldn't get your hopes up too high on that. I would go again more conservative from that is from the close. I didn't even take it from the wick, so that is the conservative, and that's still a little high. So we'll have to kind of wait and see how this reacts once Bitcoin dominance tops. If it takes off again like this, then you got an outside chance of really breaking up. But if it's still kind of hanging around, alt season started, say Bitcoin dominance tops, and we're just still hanging around down here, we'll have to see if the structure maintains. Great structure so far, so we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it picks up pace once we get above here. If it does, then maybe this higher range. But if it doesn't, then you're still looking at 9x to get to all-time highs from current pricing. That's pretty great, right? I think it's pretty great. I think we'd all be pretty happy if we could get out of the market from 9-10x from our current prices, from whatever we're in. But if you're asking for more than that, you're probably going to get chopped up again, and you're probably going to get dumped on. But we'll continue to do live streams, and we'll try to help you out as much as possible. So candlesticks, good question. Do charts tend to fully obey candlesticks like Gravestone Doji? Are there exceptions, like the Bitcoin 2-month chart, right? That just showed its Gravestone Doji on the 2 months. If you didn't know about that, right? Made a Bitcoin video. Let's go look at it. This is a good question, and I'm going to answer it soon. 2-month chart. I want to show you the chart, right? So last candle just closed. Right, 15 days ago, we closed March out, the 2-month candle, a Gravestone Doji. So yeah, that's some serious weight. But if we take out the high, right, it's null and void. And also, the answer is no. They don't always respect it. Usually, the higher the time frame, the more confident you can be. And I don't know how many higher time frames you got than a 2-month. That's pretty good. So it does have a high weight to it that is a local top. Would you be surprised if we go down to the 8 EMA on the monthly? That's 48.5. We still have, 45 days until we close that math. 45 days till we close this candle. So we'll have to see. But the answer is no, right? Even the most perfect textbook pattern and the most perfect looking candle, and that's pretty damn good, have like best case like 70% play out rate, 30% failure rate. So even the most textbook of patterns and candlesticks do have a relatively high failure rate. So I think fingers crossed for that, because if we go down here, it's not like we're just going to likely bounce right out of it in, 3 months from now, right? If picture that, if we go down here and test this, which, could be like July, August before we're potentially going down there and coming out of it. So that would be kind of careful what you wish for, if those of you that want lower prices. But it's certainly worth monitoring. But this is absolutely out the window if we take out the high. So 73.9. See 73.9, it's done, right? That should mark the top. So if we take that out by even a penny, yank it. All right, good question. STX can do that. Good request. We don't need the 2 months chart. All right, so another, I don't know, I put this in a B+. Why not the B? Because we're still above our kind of range highs here. So A group is stellar charts. B group is kind of stuck, cooling. C is get out of it quickly, right? This gets a B+ because we are above these range highs, so I do like that. But we are below. Why couldn't you get an A? You're below the 21 week. You're not getting an A if you're below the 21 week, no matter how good the chart looks. So this is a good looking chart. We are above range highs. We did put in like all-time highs, at least on this, at least on Coinbase. So pretty good, right? 150% to the 618. Now coins that are already doing this well and above like range highs and all-time highs, they have a chance to get, even higher. 2618s at 35. That might be exciting, right? 1700% from here. Or check here from the bottom. Looks good to me. Unless we have a like $5 billion market cap already, which was go look. Right, you can do this as well. Go check your market caps, and then do your ROI calculations. They'll tell you right now if whoever's predicting XRP at $500 doesn't know how to market cap. So what are we looking at? STX. Start typing, stop talking. 38, so it is pretty high, right? 3 billion. So, I mean, if you're 10x, right, you're at 30 billion, which is still possible. So 10x gets you, yeah. So I could potentially see still the 2618 getting hit for the top, but also we don't, we're taking this from the close. I didn't go from this high opening candle here. So if you have more data on a different exchange, I would go with that and try to fib that from swing high to low. Otherwise, from this, I'm just taking it kind of from the low conservative closes in here. So that's pretty good. And also, like, that's where you want to be cautious on using fibs like, they're etched in stone. They're just areas of interest. And also, like, where did you draw them from? It can widely vary where the pricings are, right? Just by moving it a little bit. So be cautious on that. Certainly with coins that don't have a ton of history, like Bitcoin's obviously going to be more accurate than this one, right? So just word to the wise on that. Cautious on, using fibs as, looking at them once and forgetting it or writing that number down. Like, forget that. It'd be much more useful to just take it on a shorter time frame and go from local swing highs to lows and then looking at the kind of the target on the shorter time frame, if that makes sense. So down a little bit today, right? 9% down today. Daily chart back under the 200. A little bit more concerning. We have our kind of our liquid level down here at $1.50. I don't know if we go down that far, but certainly, yeah, B plus on the macro scale on the weekly. Yeah, we'll do a few more minutes, then I'll kind of wrap it up. My holdings look like my high school report card. That's comment of the day for sure. Pin that message. Congrats to John. It's comment of the day. High school report card. Good one. EWT. If I miss your or skip over your coin request, I either hate you or just ask for it again because I probably just skipped it. Might as well do that one. All right, so what are we looking at here? Someone's looking for an average report card. Let's summer highs, 2022 highs. The bear market bounces. $5. Are we above that or below that? Okay, we're below that, so we're already not off to a great start. We're under the 200 week. That's another sign of potential weakness. Well, you're more bearish by definition because of that. From the October lows, we're up at 2x, which is still better than, which is still 116% better than Matic. But still not great, right? You're still battling your 100-week EMA. Like put that in perspective. Like Bitcoin would be like under 40K, right? So you're still well behind. Let's see. You're down. You're still down off the highs, over 90%. It's just it's slower moving, right? Very, very likely going to be the slower mover until you can get above this level, $5, right? When we look at the pivot lows from the bull, right? Pivot lows from July lows, pivot lows in the bear market equal pivot highs in the bear, right? And now we haven't even equaled that yet. So that's more concerning, right? C chart, report card C here. Gonna have it start stamping. C. Maybe C minus. All right. Next. Well, obviously the news is great, right? The news, who cares? Like the news, I don't care about news. Like if it's good news, it's going to show me in the good chart, right? Did the news work out well for Link? Well, so far, yeah. Now if it comes down here, right? Good close, solid close for Link. That's our first close above the 200 EMA since March on the 4-hour chart even. So if we come down, right? All eyes right there. It better not go back below that 1448, or that's sign of weakness, and it was just a news-driven event, and back to chop mode. So if we come down and hold at or above 1450, then we're good. Good to go. Daily close. Where do we need to look at? We got to get it back above the 200. 4-hour chart and the daily chart. Scribble chart. We're looking at the 200 EMA on both. We got to get back above that, or we're just spinning tires here. We're doing nothing. So far, the news has helped us, but the chart is still needing help, or below the 200-day EMA. $15. Right? We talked about this in our Chainlink video yesterday. Get above 15, start to see green. Get above 17. I don't have a word that rhymes with 17. Get above 22 and flannel blue. I think I said something stupid like that. But there you go. Yeah, what coins am I holding? It's the teal ones. I have more than others. I don't have all of these, but most of my coins are in the majority of my coins are either in Bitcoin. I've moved all my Ethereum for Injective and Render. But yeah, majority are in these top 5, and they have been since like October, right? We've been talking about this in our Telegram since October. Fetch, Ajax, Ocean, Injective, Render. All strong coins, all strong charts, all doing very well. Synapse, yep. NFP, got that. Solana, very little. Zai, very little. AI, right? These are very little. These are kind of newer coins. So just like 10% in that, majority of everything I got is either in Bitcoin, very little in Link, Fetch, Ajax, Ocean, Injective. Majority are in this top 5 right here, other than Bitcoin. Right? Bitcoin dominance is still high, so I'm still holding Bitcoin. Right? You don't want to be holding no Bitcoin with Bitcoin dominance is high. Right? Bitcoin's outperforming a lot of coins this whole cycle so far. Good question. I don't get that very much. Anything else? Kind of need to wrap it up. Got another. I got gettings to go to. Appreciate you watching this long. Since we've kind of wrapped up the requests, kind of ended there. We'll be back next week, or you can join our Telegram group and you get extra content every day of the week, including Friday. Right? We stay on top of all the market moves as best as possible. We cover Bitcoin in depth on a daily basis. Consider subscribing there through Patreon. Even all you OGs that left, you can come back. It's okay. Let's see what else. Friday, happy Friday. We'll see how the market goes. Right, for Bitcoin, we want to be watching. What do we want to be watching? Ideally, right, we want to see these, just continue to melt up for the bulls. EMA 8 has crossed the 21 again. Right, that's significant. That is very significant. EMA crossing the 21. That's the first time we've crossed back to the upside. That's right here. January. Significant. January. What month is it? Not January. Right? We've been below it. We've been below it since April. We just crossed back to the upside. That's pretty big. At the same time, you're making a higher high and poking above the Bollinger Bands for the first time since March. Back here. The bulls are here. Now, can they maintain momentum? That's the question. So we'll see how this progresses on a daily basis. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Kudos, cheers, 57 gold stars, Ferraris for everybody. Maybe the Matchbox for now, but maybe the real ones at some point. All right, I'll see you all later.